Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Thank you so much for tuning in. And shout out to all of our viewers on YouTube. You have your devices ready and ready to cook along with us, throwing it down kitchen style. Now, the delicious taste of Clover Pride fat spread is the secret ingredient to our delicious chicken piccata dish today. With all the flavors of the Mediterranean, this recipe is set to impress your guests. So to get the recipe, simply SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get the recipe. SMSs cost R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Go on. Chef Mo, you've promised us Mediterranean flavors, some salty, some sweet, and a whole lot of pasta. Where do we start?
So we're going to start with our sauce. Our chicken is going to bake in the sauce, and it's going to be covered with some cheese, and then some olives and capers and all of those beautiful things.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to add some, you can add some of our tomato passata to our heated pan, please.
We are making the pots. Look at us.
We're making the pots.
Nothing happened.
Just as I was about to ask Natasha,
Don't we add oil?
You can add a little bit.
Thank you.
Just a little.
The in the kitchen always works for us.
There we go.
Absolutely. Do you consider yourself much of a chef? Do you throw down in the kitchen?
Not really. I can make eggs. I just need to learn how to cook pap. I think that's one thing that I need to learn because I love pap.
That's important too. I mean, I do love cooking. I do love throwing it down in the kitchen.
Is the question.
But I cannot cook pap. And can I cook? You'd have to ask Chef Aya. Chef Aya, can I cook?
Which pub? Like the stiff one or the breakfast one?
All of the above.
Different, but I pap everything.
You know, for me, how I started getting used to how to cook a pap. I used to cook like, you know, umpoko, like this.
Oh, I love
That's
it.
how I started because I couldn't
African
make
salad.
the pap, but I started with the African salad. The mama was like, no, just add a bit, like not a lot of maize meal on this one. Just add less of it.
Oh,
that's how you get it. But you must keep on practicing and you'll get it.
Well, practice makes perfect, and already it's looking good.
Yeah.
Of course, we got off to a rocky start, but we've stabilized.
I think we handled that situation very well. So in goes some nicely sliced red onions. And then we're also going to just add a bit of garlic and some herbs to go into that as well, just to add to the flavor, because we're building flavors.
We're building flavors, making sure that our sauce is very wholesome, of course.
Yeah.
And we're using our red onions now because they're a bit sweeter, they're a bit more flavorful and less sharp.
Yeah, and they also have some antioxidants in them as well. So in there went tomato passata, which is basically just crushed tomatoes that you can find ready-made in the shops.
Okay.
So it's quite easy.
Very, very easy.
Yeah.
If I were to put a time frame as to the beginning of this recipe to when you're serving it for your family, how long is it? Is it a quick, simple recipe, or do we have to add love, time, and dedication?
Always some love and time and dedication.
Which I don't have.
But I would say maximum about 15 to 20 minutes for prep.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
For prep.
Just for prep, just for making the sauce, and Chef Aya is going to show you how to do the chicken part.
But if you don't have a Chef Aya with you, so that's going to take an hour.
No, it's really simple and easy, right, Chef Aya?
No, it's really, really simple and easy. And also going back to the idea of cooking with love, I think the minute that you are making something for someone that you love or making it for yourself and excited to eat it, that's where the love comes from. You don't say it there that I'm going to cook with love. No, it just happens. I mean, now I took my chicken and a butterfly, and depending on how thick your chicken that you're using, because now that the one that we're using is very thin, so I just cut it once. But if it's too thick, you can use a mallet.
Chef Aya, so for our viewers at home who aren't familiar with the process of butterflying a chicken, we have our chicken breast, and then where do we go from there?
So you have your chicken breast, like this is your chicken breast fully, right?
Yes.
And then you just flat it down with your palm, and then you're just cutting from in the middle. But you must make sure also your knife is too sharp. You must be very sharp, but also you mustn't cut yourself when you're cutting it.
Safety first.
Yeah. So now you just open it out like that. As I said earlier, and if your chicken is too thick, you can use a mallet. And then for those who don't know what a mallet is, a hammer. But like the kitchen one, you know.
Where you let out all your frustrations of the week.
And then you just sprinkle some salt and pepper and some nice paprika to get that snack. This is a smoked Spanish paprika.
Okay.
So this is just to get that beautiful color when you're cooking it, and also to kind of get that smokiness.
Looking good, looking good.
So
of course, depending on what flavors you love at home, you can add those flavors. If you want to add some spiciness, you can add some spiciness too. So we've asked you on our socials if you've got any questions for Natasha, and we've got Kotumela Linda, who's asked you, where does she get her positive attitude from? Because I'm going through many difficulties in my life. How do you become more positive?
Prayer. I honestly think that it's believing in something. You have to believe in something in this industry. And whether it's God, whether you say it's the universe, whatever it is, even if you believe in yourself, you have to believe in something, and that's going to keep you going. But just believing and knowing good so you can do it. We're here, we all have a purpose, you know, whether you figured that out yet or not, but you have a purpose. So just keep going, be positive.
I think it's one of those things where you need to decide for yourself first and not look externally for it. You have to first look internally, dig deep.
And life is not easy, guys. Like, I know we make it look easy, but it's definitely not easy. And we just try and stay positive at all times. We also have adversities. We also go through challenges. Just because we look good on screen does not mean nothing happened on the road whilst I was making my way here, you know. We don't live alone on earth. So even if you have it figured out, there are other people who will try and poke you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing I do admire about you, and I think that definitely carries through with every character you play. I mean, we saw it with Ente in Skim Sam and some of your other roles. You're always that ray of sunshine. You're always that ray of light. And even when you go through the deepest, most difficult times, even on screen with the characters, you just execute it so effortlessly.
I think it's because I've allowed myself to be human and not what people want to see, what the perception. Like, I don't have to perpetuate a facade and be something that I'm not. So I'm allowing myself to be human and go through humanly experiences.
That Clover Pride is coming through. Thank you so much, Chef Aya. These are some of those human experiences that we're talking about. The flames are real. The flames are delicious. Chef Aya, so we have already floured our...
So I've coated the chicken with eggs and then the flour. And the idea is to, I mean, we're not using oil for this. The Clover Pride already has olive oil in it. So that's why you don't have a bit of oil in it. So the minute it starts to sizzle, that's what you're looking for. Because the minute it does that, now it's going to, you turn your heat down to medium heat and then allow it to brown on each side, like evenly for like 10 minutes on each side.
Absolutely beautiful. So just a recap of everything that we've done here in the kitchen today. Chef Mo has already started with the sauce with Natasha. The sauce is looking so good.
I love that. It's got all those flavors going. It's nice and thick now, so I think we're ready. Good job.
Good job.
Thank you. Takes a bow.
Well done, girl. Well done. Well done. It smells absolutely delicious. And Chef Aya, we've got the chicken ready, or almost ready.
So it's going to take 10 minutes on each side to cook, because now I've turned down the heat a bit. I want it to cook nice through it, and it'll end up having like a juicy inside and also a nice brown creamy side outside.
Looking so good,
awesome.
Smelling so good, feeling so good. Now the smell coming out of this kitchen is out of the world. We continue with our main recipe after the break. See you then.